What is going on, you guys? It's your boy Uncommon Builds, and we are back with another video. Apparently, Dodge is hinting the comeback of the Cuda.
Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter.
All right, guys. So before we get into this article by Car Buzz, as always, I will put the link in the description so that way you guys can go and basically check this out. Now, Dodge bringing back the Cuda. So apparently there's some uproar about some type of image or something about Dodge having something on the wall of a fish, supposedly, or resembling a fish, which we all know the Barracuda. However, I'm not sure really what to believe because all the turmoil that's going on right now with Stellantis and CDJR. Now, if they come out with a Barracuda, great. That something different, dope. Performance-wise, dope. I'm sure it's going to have a V8 in it. However, I'm not too sure whether or not this is actually going to be legit. We're going to definitely get into this article, but you got to remember, Stellantis and basically what's going on with this company and some of the brands, and we're looking at some of the layoffs, and then temporary layoffs, not having motors, the whole 9 yards. So Stellantis is really going through it right now. So could the Barracuda come? I don't know. The V8 version of the Dodge Charger, which that was also proclaimed, I don't know. The Tim Kuniskis announced 18 new products, I believe, in the next 18 months. Is that going to happen? I don't know. There's just too much turmoil going on right now to really believe what direction that Dodge is going. It's like all the articles that I have read and a lot of stuff that I have seen, it just sounds like all of it's just a hot mess. And, them, I guess, also trying to bring some of this production to the U.S. Is that likely? Possibly. But I hope y'all going to be ready for those markups because, they're talking about these tariffs and, every which way. Because Tavares also pretty much, had dug Stellantis a pretty deep hole. And then on top of that, we want to talk about, now they're blaming the tariffs and all that kind of stuff, which could possibly be so. However, the strategy, the plan, they got to figure this out because Stellantis has kind of been struggling the last couple of years. So we'll basically see what's going to happen. But, hey, if they come up with a Barracuda, this thing better look distinctive. That's all I'm saying. It better look distinctive if they're going to come out with it. But let's go ahead and get into this article, guys. Dodge keeps hinting that a new Cuda is on the way. Look at that. What's that? AR Cuda, the pink body. If there's one thing Dodge love, it's the brand's own heritage. Bringing back the Charger and Challenger, the Hemi V8, and even classic colors like Go Mango and Plum Crazy, it's all a big part of the brand experience. Maybe as important as the raw horsepower the big engines deliver. Dodge. Like many automakers, Dodge evolved from being a machine shop that supplied parts and assemblies in the early 1900s to a fully fledged automaker. The Dodge brothers started building cars in 1914. Under the Dodge Brothers brand, the company was sold to Chrysler in 1928, originally producing trucks, full-size passenger cars, and compact cars. These days, the brand is known for performance cars like the iconic Charger and Challenger sold under the Stellantis banner. This says founded December 14, 1900, founder John Francis Dodge, and what's that horse? Elgin Dodge. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Headquarters, Auburn Hills, Michigan, USA. Owned by Stellantis, North America. Current CEO, Carlos Tavares. And we all know he ain't there no more. Now it looks like the company might be bringing back another name since the CEO who gets the blame for killing the Hemi is gone. The Barracuda name could be back on the menu, taking a bite out of performance car sales. Dodge has a big fish on its wall. What makes us think that the Barracuda is coming back? Take a close look at the Dodge Charger Portal website. That is once you've waited for it to load, because this page is missing the most important part of Dodge performance. It's slower than a slant 6. The portal is set in a virtual garage where influencers and executives will give you guides and deep dives into the latest electric Dodge Charger. The garage walls are covered with fake toolboxes, drawings of famous racetracks, and one crucial detail. Turn around in the garage, and eventually you'll see an icon that's a lot brighter than the others. A really big fish. TK's garage spotted it first, and we're pretty sure it wasn't there when the portal went live a few months back. Sorry for the blurry image, but if you go on the portal, you'll see that it's the best we could do with its 2003 era internet setup. It's not the traditional Barracuda logo that Plymouth used in the past. This one's angry, very angry. But what else could a fish and a Mopar have in common? Maybe because this isn't your father's Barracuda. It was time for a new logo. Why are we jumping to Barracuda, or more specifically the Cuda? Because of some trademark activity last year. In May of 2024, Stellantis filed for a trademark for the Cuda name. That trademark was just published this month, meaning the brand only just got it locked back down. The company filed for it under badges of metal for passenger automobiles, as well as decals, which might be another hint the Barracuda name, or at least the Stellantis claim to it, appears to have been abandoned. The automaker lost it in 2015. No new trademarks, but that's not always a problem. And here we've got this purple, I believe that's the Barracuda, looks like. Yep, Cuda. Nice little drop top. I don't know. This would be interesting if they bring this back modernized. Like, this is a dope classic car, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. No, we'll have to see. That's not to say it can't get it back. These things happen all the time. Not every automaker, even brothers, getting a trademark on model names. And of course, trademarks and patents do not guarantee the use of a name in future vehicles, and are often used exclusively as means of protecting intellectual property and naming trends. The badge and trademark filing suggest a trim level rather than a standalone model, should Dodge produce it. Plymouth first launched the Barracuda in 1964. The third generation, launched in 1970, was the most iconic of the three. It was only built through 1974, and it was based on the Dodge Challenger platform. The two looked similar but didn't share any body panels. The ultimate version of this muscle car was the Cuda. Yes, the Barracuda. It used a version of Dodge's V8 engines, including ultimately the Hemi Cuda, with a 426 Hemi with 425 horsepower of naturally aspirated muscle. Cuda was a trim grade on the 1969 cars, as well as the 1970 and 1971. And I believe that's it for this article. So this comment says, I'm that guy. I mean, technically, you could put code in the new Charger with a 6.2 motor in it, but that's just black mark on the car's legacy. Government regulations will not allow another Hellcat. High horsepower configuration. It's early 1970s all over again. There's only two comments in that. But, ladies and gentlemen, again, shout out to Car Buzz. Who's the author on this article? I don't see an author's name whatsoever. Oh, there it is. By Evan Williams. Shout out to you as well, my boy. There you have it. Apparently, and I can't say whether or not this is, I mean, it's kind of funny to me because I also saw this on another YouTube channel. I can't recall whose channel I saw this on, but I know you have Butter the Insider, you have TK's Garage, and there's a couple other people out there. I can't think of the channels right off the top of my head. However, I have seen that people are talking about these Easter eggs that are basically popping up on this platform or something like that. We're talking about an automaker, whether or not they're going to be coming out with a newer product or whatever it is, whether they're hinting it or not. I have not seen a commercial. We have not heard anything about it. So when I see stuff like this, like it does make me laugh a little bit because I don't know. I'm just being realistic. Like I said, before I read this article, there's a lot of turmoil going on with Stellantis right now. And it just sounds just a lot of ideas being thrown out there. And honestly, they definitely got to fix those hiccups before they start doing all this other turmoil. And I've said this in my other videos before. Whether they bring out a new V8 or not, I don't know if that's going to save the brand, CDJR. I don't know if that's going to actually save Stellantis either. So when you look at it from the outside looking in, they have been declining the last couple of years. The products have basically been the same. It's just a different year. I remember somebody tried to argue with me about, what was it? It was somebody who was a car salesman, and they had a brand new, I want to say it was a brand new Tahoe or something like that I want to say it was a Tahoe. It was a Tahoe or Suburban, something. And they were basically showcasing the difference between, I think it was a 2023 and then the new 2024. And there was a lot of controversy. Some people were saying, well, it still looks the same. Oh, no, there's a slight difference. Listen, I do not care. If I am buying a car, hear me when I say this, because they tried to compare a Big Mac to a vehicle, or they tried to compare an iPhone to a vehicle. Let me tell you something. If you are willing to basically pay an upcharge in a newer year model for the exact same vehicle that looks the exact same, there is something wrong with you. I'm not going to buy a 2020 and then 5 years down the road, the 2025s look exactly the same, except you're just paying the markup for the newer year. It's the exact same car, just a different year. Oh, well, it's newer. I don't care. It's the same car. It ain't newer. It's the same car. Y'all just slapped a newer date on it. That's it. That's it. So you can't sit here and get me to fork out an extra $20,000 5 years later. Yeah, I get it, inflation. Now we got tariffs, but at the same time, like it's been the same products. Dodge has had the same products for the last, I want to say 10 years. They look the same. So nothing's really changed. And if they come out with the Barracuda, this Barracuda better look fancy, or better look decent, with a decent, price point or decent price tag to basically sell, because they still have cars on these lots that hadn't sold in 2 years, almost 3 years. So I don't know about you, but I'm not buying the same car that looks the same 6 years later. Oh, well, I got the same car. Oh, no, this is a 2025. No, it's the same car. It all looks like a scam to me, but, it is what it is. And then somebody trying to compare a Big Mac. Oh, well, you buy, what did he say? He said, if I find the comment, I'm going to post it in here. But he said, it's like, oh, but you still buy the Big Mac even though the price has changed. First and foremost, I don't eat McDonald's. I don't eat a Big Mac either. And I'm going to always stick with the SRT8 unless, later on down the road, I get tired of it. I've done everything to it. Probably, sell it off or do a giveaway on it or something like that later in the future. But if I decide that I want another Charger, or if I want to swap the engine out on the 6.1 and put like a 6.2, 6.4, then that's something I'm going to do. It's pretty much the same car. I've said this in one of my videos before. You can take the 6.1 or take a Dodge Charger, whether it's an RT 6.2, 6.4, and basically play Legos with it. I could literally convert the entire front bumper and put a newer front on the SRT8, and you wouldn't even know unless I told you. But, it is what it is. But if they come out with a Cuda, this car better look nice. I know that 426 Hemi, ooh, boy, it's going to sound nice. But I don't know. I'm seeing too many articles, seeing too many channels showcasing, oh, well, they're going to drop this, going to drop that. And I hadn't seen them drop anything other than the EVs and the Hornets that nobody wants. So I don't know, but y'all let me know what you think. Don't forget to hit that like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that way you know when I post another video, so you can go and check that out. But with that being said, guys, it is free game. Leave a comment in the comment section, and that'll be it for today's video. See you on the next one. See you when I see you. Peace.